Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Redeemables, podcast where we watch movies that scored 50 or below on the Metacritic scale and decide to either redeem them or nail them to the cross. My name is Kenny, and today I'm joined by climate change denier BJ.
Yeah, welcome.
And paleoclimatologist Duff.
Paleo? What's that?
It's a paleoclimatologist.
Isn't it the chef?
Yeah, it's something to do with diet.
Yeah, it's a diet. You can only eat.
Are you saying something?
No, it's just a
You
it's
can
a
only
period
eat
of
what
time.
you kill, and you can only kill what you eat.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Well, the caveman. Paleo.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So a paleoclimatologist. You specialise in climate theories dating back thousands of years.
Don't tell me how to do my job.
Sorry. What I consider a perfect duo of people to debate this movie this week, which is
Battle it out.
The Day After Tomorrow.
We found something extraordinary. Extraordinary and disturbing, that is. You recall what you said about how polar melting might disrupt the North Atlantic current?
Yes.
Well, I think it's happening.
Folks, we've hit some unusual turbulence. We've encountered a cloud layer that's abnormally high.
You all right?
Please remain.
He's afraid of flying.
The government has to start making long-term preparations now.
Jack, all you have is a theory.
It's been raining like this for 3 days now.
Mr. Vice President, if we don't act now, it's going to be too late.
I'm afraid that time has come and gone, my friend.
What can we do?
Save as many as you can.
The storm is just going to get worse. What should we do? I will come for you. Do you understand me?
The Day After Tomorrow is a 2004 American science fiction disaster film, directed, co-produced, and co-written by Roland Emmerich, which
Yeah,
I'm
boy.
hoping you're familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Roland.
Old hit and miss Roland.
He makes keyboards.
He does. That's right. He does. So the film stars Dennis Quaid, Jake Gyllenhaal, Celia Ward, Emmy Rossum, and Ian Holm.
No mention of Dash.
I knew you would. That's why I didn't put it on there.
Excuse me, friend.
Yeah.
There's another actor in this. Dash.
I knew you would. Do you know who Dash is? Dash Mihawk?
Is it the dog?
No, he's the. You'd kind.
Good name for a dog.
He's a massive that guy.
He's just everyone.
I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I was going to say after you got through the top three names, which I recognised, I'm going to have to put a face to the name because
Minox.
Yes. Okay.
I recognise so many faces, but I couldn't go. Oh, it's Dash. Obviously.
In my breakdown of the cast, I do actually say who they were in the film because
good.
some of these names are.
That'd be a handy reference point.
Yeah, we should do that every week.
We're evolving.
All right, Wikipedia plot synopsis reads, a depiction of catastrophic climatic effects following the disruption of the North Atlantic Ocean circulation, a series of extreme weather events ushering global cooling and lead to a new ice age.
Oh. Yep.
Leaves out all the subplots of or sub-themes and whatever's going on. Obviously Dennis Quaid.
I will come for you.
Oh, are you doing that already?
I will come for you.
So yeah, that's what Wiki
Everyone
had.
stop. My dad said it's not safe.
He was right, Mark. You
yeah.
can bully
He
him
was.
all you like, but he was right.
All right, studio marketing tag line. Choose one. I know you don't like doing
There we
this.
go.
I love
I don't really
choosing.
find multiples anyway.
Let's
go.
IMDb had 6.
Jesus.
Wow.
And I binned one of them because it was so bad.
What
So
was
we've got 5 to choose
We got
from.
5, and some of these are still
Shit.
pretty shit. All right, number 1. This year, a sweater won't do.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
I want to throw that in the bin.
Yeah, all right, scratch that one. Number 2, now it's fiction, tomorrow it's real.
Oh, wow. I hate that too.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, shit. Number 3,
Shit.
shit. Number 3, the end of the world was just the beginning.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but it kind of alludes to if there was a second one, If there was a sequel of The Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe.
Because just to be, they're going to rebuild or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, scratch that one.
It's out. So democratic.
Number 4, where will you be? Because it's the day after tomorrow. Where will you be?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number
Probably
5.
at work.
What are you, an Iceman?
It feels like I'm always there.
It's flooding at work. Oh, no. I'll just walk into the fucking ocean, I would. Just let it embrace me.
The ocean will come to you, trust me.
You watched the movie. Good. I see you've seen it. Number 5 was Nature Has Spoken.
Yeah.
So it's really out of 4 or 5.
Yeah,
Where will you
it's
be? Nature Has Spoken.
I think it's Where Will You Be?
Fun fact, Where Will You Be, it was or is the tagline on my Blu-ray cover. Because I dug up the Blu-ray for this, as I like to do. It's kind of, into the attic. Yeah. It's a nice little, it's a very therapeutic kind of thing I do.
Sleeping up there anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I watched it up there too on my portable TV.
Do they know you're living up there yet?
The fuck is a portable TV?
Do you remember a portable TV?
Oh, yeah.
Nah. So yeah, Where Will You Be or Nature Has Spoken? What do you want? Which one?
Where Will You Be?
Happy with that?
No,
Yeah.
I want Nature Has Spoken, but it's democracy, like long democracy.
We'll go with the Blu-ray cover. Where Will You Be? It is probably long enough on the studio marketing tagline.
I love market. I could talk an hour and a half about marketing taglines.
It's just turned into
I've got some more.
Yeah. Go.
Okay. No, you guys want stats?
Yeah.
Budge. How much do you reckon they spent?
Lots.
Go. Give me a number.
$144 million.
Yeah. Wow.
I want to go $143 million.
The dryer on the line.
Pretty close. 125 mil.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cheap.
Which, fun fact, adjusted for inflation to today is $144 million, not a dollar less.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
Let me do that math real quick.
Don't Google it.
Yep. You're right.
Get my guy on the line.
GBO.
Well, it was fucking massive.
Lots.
Massive.
$312 million.
Yeah.
I really want to say something. 313. No. I'll go 400 mil.
You're both way off.
Okay.
What?
Take another guess.
Well,
$177 million.
what is this? The fucking Price is Right.
Take another guess.
500 million.
You're duff. Bang. 553.
Wow.
It's a block bastard.
It was massive.
The
Category above.
Metacritic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Metacritic was 47.
Yeah.
So just under.
Yep.
User review shocked me. 6.6.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
I thought that was really low.
Yeah.
I've
I thought it'd be
never
higher.
heard a negative word said about this film.
No.
Other than it's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's from that guy that like takes movies too seriously.
I've got pages of stuff to say, so
Yeah.
keep your powder dry.
And the other thing I included this week, which we seem to miss sometimes, was the rating. It was PG-13. I'm going American rating.
Yeah.
American rating PG-13, which is in Australia, that would be, I think it's M.
Yeah, we're more mature than Americans.
Yeah, well, that would say we're less mature because we need to be 15 to handle this film.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a free-for-all in America. Let's not compare ourselves to them.
Well done. Critic reviews, let's do it. Jonathan Rosenbaum.
Mm-hmm.
A
We've
friend
had
of the
Rose.
He's been on the pod, but not a friend of the pod, an enemy of the pod. But
He's a guy we've mentioned.
yeah. He's from Reader, and he said, an exceptionally stupid movie. And he gave it 30.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to lie. There's a little piece of me that every time we read something really savage by a critic, I think I've missed my calling. Like, it'd be
I could
fun.
do that. Yeah, I could
It'd be
definitely
fun.
do
I
that.
think I'd be the worst critic in the world. It was fucking garbage, but I loved it.
It would just be the opposite movies for me. So the ones the critics love, I would go, shit.
Yeah.
And then the ones they hate, I would be, that's the best film I've ever
Exceptionally
seen. 90.
stupid.
Keith Phipps of AV Club,
Oh,
our favourite. Yep.
Here we go.
Emmerich now directs entirely in watered down Spielbergisms, and his storytelling skills, never strong, have gone slack. His talent for stretching a concept that can be described in 10 seconds into a feature-length movie, on the other hand, remains impressive. So that was a long sentence to get through.
Yeah.
I lost interest.
What's he saying? He's basically saying it was an impressive feat to pull off what was a very small, tiny concept.
And a poor man Spielberg.
Yeah, and a poor man Spielberg.
I
don't think it's any of those things.
Oh, I actually hadn't looked at it in that fashion before, but it is. There's a little Spielbergy going on there.
I just think it's epic. You could say anything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You could say anyone.
Look,
any
I
director
feel
that
really
does
easily convinced tonight.
Really
I'm flip-flopping all
Sorry,
over.
man, I put my lawyer voice
Sorry,
on.
I'll take a fucking stance. Put my big boy pants on. Let's go. No, but I do see what he's saying there. I think it's a Spielbergish epic, as you say. I get that. The rest of it, he's kind of a backhanded compliment.
What about Spielberg is in this film? Like that
the
kind
whole
of like
the
personal drama,
yeah,
in
the personal
in
drama,
a global,
the like sort of innocent romantic subplot to an extent.
Yep.
E.T.
Oh yeah, in a sense, yeah. So it's
when
kind
E.T.
of that,
popped up, I thought,
childlike wonder.
there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm thinking of Ron Howard this whole time. Sorry, guys.
Peter Rayner of Vulture. The catastrophe is so pulped and exaggerated that uninformed audiences will safely assume that global warming is just a democratic scare tactic. 30.
Oh, he got political.
Got
He
really
did.
polit-
Yeah.
Oh,
If you made all the tidal waves and whatever the fuck was happening, if you made that shit small, it would be ridiculous. Like a little tidal wave that laps against your ankles. Oh, global warning.
yeah.
You can't make a movie about that. Like laps against your ankles.
Well,
roll credits.
it's certainly not doing 550 mil.
Yeah.
Let's up the stakes from there and go, we get a bit of sea rising and it just wipes out the rich people on the coast and the rest of us go, you know what I mean? The stakes have to be like, it's going to make it to the poor people as well and you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
had to be
it's
big.
a global like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like a small thing's not ending the world.
No,
yeah. So he's just hasn't watched that properly. We'll move on from Pete to another Pete, Peter Travers of Rolling Stone.
We've heard Travis.
Yeah, we have had Trav. Don't ask whether or not you should take the day after tomorrow seriously. Don't take it at all. 25.
Oh,
Hated
Jesus.
it. Hated its guts.
Did he though?
Don't take it. Yeah. Well written, though. Good.
Yeah.
Well, you can see why he works for Rolling Stone and not Vulture.
Yeah, what a jerk. So that's it. That's it from the critics. What do you got? You guys agree with the critics? You like it? You hate it? What's your vibe? What's your dot points?
I was a big fan. I'm always a big fan of big waves and ice.
What are you, an endless summer guy?
You are going to love Duns Brothers, heaps of both.
Hey, well done.
I mentioned it earlier. I think it's an epic, and yeah, I had the greatest time watching it as well,
Yep.
which is probably lifted the movie a bit for me. I can't remember little bits.
Did
and
you have a
pieces.
little tipple, did you, Duff?
Yeah, I had a fucking tickle. So, this is how I watched the movie. So the first 6 beers in was probably like 30 minutes.
Intravenous, he was taking this beer.
And
just
I
through
was
a drip.
pissing myself laughing. I thought it was a bloody comedy. I was just having... Then the waves start coming. I'm pressing pause. I'm having a vape. I'm having a few more beers. So by the end of the movie, I've had 18 beers.
so many beers.
And let me tell you...
To watch a movie. It's like a weekend bender.
At home,
no.
tell us-
I just watched a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so drunk, I had cheese sandwiches afterwards without the bread. Just a bowl of cheese.
Just melted cheese.
melted. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. And I think I've always enjoyed it, though. So when I was younger, I've enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have thoughts.
Oh, good.
What do you got?
The acting at the first, 25, 30 minutes.
Like the intro to the film.
Oh, man. Thank God that bastard from The Alien was in it. Because
Which guy? I don't know the Alien. Oh, the Alien, the TV show.
Alien, the movie Alien.
Oh, who's in it from Alien?
That little hobbit fella.
Oh, the vice president.
I remember all of it.
Maybe I was
What are you
hell
talking about?
drunk.
Did you watch the right movie?
Yeah, I'm thinking of the wrong dude, maybe.
Gollum? You're thinking of
Ian
Gollum.
Holm.
Oh.
Ian Holm is the scientist in the British Isle.
Oh, sorry.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's got K on with you
you're right.
now.
He was in
He
The Hobbit
was,
or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
remember him.
We got there.
It was a deep dive.
Yeah, so yeah. Apart
from him, everyone
the
else was
first half an hour, the acting was fucking subpar, and I loved it.
Yeah.
it was so.
It's just slightly bland.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hugely
but the kind of like the intro where
Yeah.
they're in the north. Are they in Antarctica? I think.
One of the Arcticas.
Yeah.
Arctic. Yeah.
Yep.
And that I thought was cool. The visual effects put me off a little bit straight away at the start, like the very first stuff with the ice and stuff.
Yeah.
But then it's incredible throughout. But just when I first started, I was like,
Just the
fuck,
flying in or the actual...
No, when they're on the ice and it's
Yeah.
splitting at the very start,
Right,
and
yeah.
Dennis Quaid jumps over the ice.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this looks a bit off.
So,
and then I was like, it's 2004, but then the rest of the film did not. The rest of the film's incredible.
Yeah, they nailed it.
That can come out today, and you'd be like, this is the best visual effects I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'd probably change the wolves a little bit.
Oh, the wolves
well,
they'd probably use real wolves these days.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Let them loose.
Sorry.
From my point of view, the flying
6
in
beers.
scene.
Sorry, where were we?
the very, very opening. I quite enjoyed that flying over the frozen tundra and whatnot. It was pretty cool.
Sorry, now I know what you mean.
And as an exposition,
it
was they nailed a few things really early. Like they showed, even the like on a larger scale, the more metaphorical stuff. Like there's this huge frozen tundra, and there's these tiny little guys here.
Yeah.
And then it seemed
scale.
You're
already kind of anxious.
These tiny little humans against the vastness of the environment, and then one of them, I didn't do anything. Whatever he says, did he though? Is he like the? He's like the guy with the acorn in the other movie about the Ice Age.
Ice Age.
Yeah, so he did the same thing, right?
Scrat.
He causes the whole thing to break off.
Yeah.
So they set up a few things there. They showed you that Dennis Quaid runs towards danger.
Yeah.
I'll come for you, right?
Yeah.
They also showed he's a fucking incredible athlete.
Yeah, well, we knew that.
He jumps.
He was a quarterback in any given Sunday at like 44 years old.
He went into science after that. And they also, hell of an unlucky spot to put your camp.
Yeah, out of all the places, imagine
right on the split.
Right, it's huge, that joint.
What if the split was like 800 meters away? They didn't see it. Roll credits.
Yeah, but we're nitpicking early. I thought that they were set up there intentionally because they knew that was the edge of the shelf.
That's why they were taking samples.
That's where the fault line is. Okay,
yeah. So that's why they can dig so deep. Otherwise,
so he did do it. That guy with the fucking
he caused it. There's no doubt about it.
Do you reckon he's liable?
Yeah.
Another thing that got me really going was literally the 21st century, right at the start. It's like, and then there's fucking lightning and shit and fucking clouds in the background. I was like, I'm in for a good one.
Well, when I was watching it, it was this most recent Saturday, and if you guys got the same weather I did, it took me a little while to work out what was the movie and what was going on outside.
Yeah. It was.
I watched huge thunderstorm.
It was grizzly on Saturday, wasn't it?
I watched it during the day against Ken's.
Me too.
Watches,
Oh, Jesus.
And I genuinely didn't know what was on the TV and what was happening outside.
Yeah.
Didn't even know it was raining outside.
Were you okay with watching it during the day? A movie like that?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's not a day movie, but
I'm fine.
very few are.
Yeah.
Look, let's not get
Okay, we won't
who
go into that.
who doesn't watch film during the day?
I'm an anytime kind of guy.
Watched film during the day twice in my life.
Really?
Didn't enjoy it.
One
was Demolition Man.
The other things they did to set up the characters were the whole political machinations that were going on, and that's where our friend the vice president comes in.
Poignant, wasn't it? With the one screaming guy saying, "This is, this is what I know."
I'm glad we've come a long way on climate change. We've changed. We've really, really come a 180.
Yeah.
2004, you say?
Yeah, it was 2004.
Could have told me that summit happened recently, and
it would probably exactly.
Put a little
thing.
Danish girl in the shot or whatever, and I don't know the difference.
She was there. She was just she was a baby at that point.
Still waving a placard.
If you watch that again, when Dennis Quaid's trying to get a taxi and he's like, "Hey, taxi," and then Ian Holm, I'll call him the alien bastard, comes in and whistles.
Yeah.
And Dennis Quaid just looks at him with pure wonder.
He's like, "That's the most impressive thing I've ever heard."
How did you do that noise?
You made a noise with your mouth.
So I giggled and had a beer.
I did actually. I did notice that. I was like, he's very easily impressed.
Yeah.
He literally saw the earth crack in half and a big fucking piece of ice float away. He was like, yeah, whatever. The dude whistles. He's like, blown away.
Yeah. The other setups. So while all that's happening, like let's call it first half an hour of the film before the first kind of wave hits, I guess you call it. The family development stuff,
yes,
I thought was excellent.
Yeah, it was good.
It was just so short and sharp.
Yeah,
really nailed it. I thought that one of the critics just previously that I read really bagged out the dialogue, and I was like, no, it was really sharp. It was short, sharp, precise, and it just got the point. Like exposition, perfectly done.
It did.
I'm not watching this film for monologues. Like I'm watching it for the adventure, the terror.
I think that's Jake Gyllenhaal's acting that puts it over the line.
Partially,
and
all
Dennis
of them.
Quaid's
All of
acting.
them. And
puts it
her
over
mum, she was good.
Was there a mum in this?
That's Seal Award.
That's
when I read out the
gotcha,
cast. That's
right.
Seal Award.
Yeah, but some of the other stuff I found it very
The one
like,
bit,
did you have trouble with that?
Yeah, bro.
I didn't have any trouble with it.
It wasn't with those actors. It was anyone other actor,
anyone else,
that wasn't a part of the core 7.
Right.
Like
I think a Beagle was on.
The Asian lady who was an expert in bloody, I don't know, weather.
You really
I thought she was.
She was a paleoclimatologist as well. I'm a paleoclimatologist.
Yeah, I just thought, apart from the main players, everyone else is a bit clunk.
She felt a bit clunk. Wow.
Clunk, okay.
Stop trying to make clunk happen.
Just trying to appeal to the teens with that word, or what?
Is that on the TikTok?
Yeah, that's lit, bro.
They were like, oh, we're just going to have like the most little bit of sexual chemistry between the youngest member of the scientific
Dash.
team and the one woman on the,
That's
Dash,
That's
isn't
Dash,
it?
yeah.
I gotcha.
That was the only attempt, and correct me if I'm wrong, the only mild humour in the whole film.
Yeah.
Which that's what separates Roland Emmerich from Michael Bay.
Right, gotcha.
So Michael Bay, he puts humour in his epics. And he shifts the tone.
Gives it a good shot.
Yeah, like Armageddon. Think of those sort of Transformers. Think of those massive ones that he did that were $500 million movies.
Yeah.
And they're comedy.
Yeah.
Roland Emmerich's just as big a director in terms of the blockbusters he's done.
Yep.
He doesn't have the output that Michael Bay's had. But Roland Emmerich doesn't do jokes, really. Independence Day, kind of, but that was like Will Smith doing his thing.
Yeah.
But then you go like 2012. What else has he done? He's done just any disaster movie in the last 20 years has pretty much been him. But yeah, he's not big on it. And this movie was so dry. And I actually preferred it like that. It draws you in more. It makes it more dramatic and more kind of intense. If they had a what do you call it? Comic relief character.
Yeah, there was just the
it would have been too much.
So I think
cheapens it.
You've just made something sort of crystallized for me, which is that what Duff's saying about like the sort of ancillary characters that are sort of floating around in the story.
Yeah.
I think the fact that they were used to add a bit more heart, like the homeless dude with the dog, like he wasn't wacky or stupid or whatever. He was just
homeless.
Yeah, but he was like he was a good representation. He gave it a bit more depth.
Yeah,
that sort of shit I like.
Okay.
And then even the fact
good.
that the dude who you thought was going to be the bully.
Yeah,
at the school, he turned out to be a decent
stereotypes. They just shut it down. Shut down the stereotypes.
But where Bay would have made them like come in and like crack wires, and
really
then
over
get out
the top.
again.
Yeah, they would have been
they were
larger than
layers.
life. Yeah.
All they had to do was
that's
change,
great. I'd never thought about it like that either. Yeah. All those extra.
If you
characters.
put that homeless guy as Eddie Griffin, it's a completely different movie.
True.
It's a completely different movie.
Bear with me. He loses his dog in a crater.
Yeah.
Fuck it. It won't make any sense.
Imagine trying to calm him down. Nah, I'm doing comedy.
But they established the family dynamic really early.
I was really worried about the angst coming out of Gyllenhaal's face.
Yeah. Well, they did that classic trope of dad forgets to pick up
and
the
then
kid.
like boom, it was kind of over.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
really quickly without anything happening apart from his dad's going to rescue him.
Yeah, his dad's got some shit to make up for.
Yeah, good. I thought they were good characters. They weren't too cliche. The setup of the movie's kind of cliche, like we're talking about with the scientists that no one believes and all that sort of stuff. Like that's cliche for that type of movie, but none of the characters were.
Yeah.
They're all kind of their own characters. They weren't. None of them were like really loud characters, as in, they were all kind of just vanilla-ish.
Yeah.
But they
played their
good.
role. Played.
Vanilla's probably the word for a lot of the characters, I think.
There's some beige painting going on in the background.
And it wasn't about them.
No.
The character of the movie was the storm. The most impressive visual effects ever witnessed.
Yeah. Let's.
Okay.
Do we want to talk about that now?
Yeah, I'd love to talk about the first thing. Is it just me, or does every disaster movie always fuck up Beijing?
Yeah.
Does Beijing always get fucked?
They love to do Beijing.
Like Armageddon, the whole world's safe apart from fucking Beijing.
Probably for the China market.
They want to see the city torn down.
Yeah. So
it draws them in. You know how cool it is when you see Australia or Perth in a movie?
Just the Sydney Harbour. It's always the Sydney Harbour.
Kill Bill?
Yeah.
And it references Perth. And you're like, oh, wow, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
Because, we're this tiny little isolated city. Yeah. But maybe that's why they do China in all the disaster films, because all the Chinese, they're, whoa,
they're destroying us again.
Maybe.
LA cops it a bit, right?
Yeah.
Always.
They got fucking leveled in this, and we've seen, even in a few movies we've watched for the podcast, we've seen LA cops some shit.
LA does.
Because I'm here for it. I'm like, whatever. No one cares.
Burn it to the ground.
Yeah.
I was really emotionally invested at this stage with and then the hailstorm happens.
Oh, that's Korea.
The Chinese guys running around with the briefcase. It's like, put the briefcase down, you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
Hit.
Bang.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story is get the fuck out of there when the hailstones start falling.
Yeah.
Drops his Nokia.
Don't hang around. He drops his Nokia, Yeah, at least they have mobile phones.
That's when the visuals kind of begin. That's a soft start because that looked like a bit of a studio job. Yeah. Like it looked like it was all just made in the studio. That whole it was
Koreatown.
That
was the set.
It did look.
I think
like
the whole movie
felt like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask. That was going to be one of my big questions. Is
I think it's a big set piece.
Yeah.
The whole thing
Okay.
would be.
Oh,
all
I
sets.
didn't. Yeah, right.
Not green screen.
Like
Yeah,
actual
sets,
built
but
sets.
proper
that was
sets.
legitimately one of my questions because it looked great in that regard.
Yeah, so maybe that's the difference. Maybe they actually built the sets rather than green screening it.
I noticed it heaps when he was climbing the boat, and I was like, wow. This would have taken. I was actually thinking this would have taken a lot to build
Yeah, right.
because it's not
Just
green
admiring
that's
the
what
boat
you
build,
get.
the build of the boat.
I recently went to Rottnest. I was enthralled. Enthralled by the cargo ships.
You're drinking IPAs, were you, bud? You're on the IPAs again.
Zero beers. Zero beers.
I guess that's what you get with 125 mil. Like you want to do the library? Let's just fucking rebuild it in a
let's do it,
studio.
fuck it.
You want to do what is it? New York Library or whatever?
Yeah, yeah,
it's called something, isn't it? Or is it just New York Library?
Knowing Americans, it's probably called the place of books and
Books and
where
shit.
where the books live.
Book reading, maybe one time we'll shoot one.
So so the visual
Hello
effects.
to our
Okay,
America.
so we like the sets are good
Yep.
because they're built. We'll just assume that. I have no facts there, but
Yep.
And then the actual first LA getting leveled, which
Yes.
you mentioned.
Yep.
Fuck,
Tornadoes.
look great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tornadoes look
I couldn't
legit.
believe how good it looked.
Yep.
it was
Then
really.
sorry, you go.
No, you go.
I was going to say my shot of the movie is when the wave comes through the Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
And as it's about to crash over New York, and as it hits the Statue of Liberty, and only the hand with the fire is left above it, and I was like, "Oh, that's so good! It's very America."
Yeah.
but really good.
Yeah.
It looked great.
The whole thing looked legit.
I couldn't believe how good it looked.
Yes,
What did I read something. I forgot to put it in my fun facts. I think it said over. I could get this wrong. I think it was over. It's either 1,000 or 10,000 people worked. No, it was 1,000. Over 1,000 people worked on the visual effects of this film.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Right.
and for over
A few of them were slacking off.
for over a year.
So, my shot of the film, one of the shots of the film, was when they're in the weather station, and the guy and the girl are fooling around,
Yeah.
and you just see the building go black.
Yep.
And then the janitor goes outside, and that whole fucking section of the building's gone.
That was
There was
great.
no special effects.
That was great.
It's just what happened, and that would be insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how unlucky is it? Like 2 seconds later, the tornado dissipates. I'm like, ooh.
You just judge.
It's really actually so enjoyable to watch when visual effects are done that well.
Yeah.
Because it can be boring if it, like, I don't know, have you guys seen, I assume you would have, San Andreas or 2012? They're kind of the similar thing.
Yeah.
The visual effects in that are like...
80% is good.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just not there.
Yeah,
like
just
this,
missing-
this seems
yeah.
to focus on physics and ultra realistic physics.
Yeah.
Like, sure, the wave's probably a ridiculous size and that can never happen, all that shit. But if it did,
Duff's the paleoclimatologist.
If
How accurate was the wave size?
It was actually not that large.
Okay.
And once it dissipates, goes up to your ankles.
boring movie.
But you have very cold toes.
Boring movie.
You
sorry,
know
go-
what?
But yeah, I think that's what makes it so. Part of the reason the movie's so rewatchable and so enjoyable is because of that. Because it's fucking mind blowing how they did this. Yeah,
I wrote down like Carnage is cool.
yeah,
The visuals are incredible, and some specifics where I love the tornadoes.
yep.
They looked amazing, especially the big
Coming
wide
out of
shots.
the water, and yeah.
And again, it's a trope, but they use it really well. With you got to have a guy in the helicopter. The weather's getting really rough up here.
It's kind of getting tossed around a bit with lightning in the background.
Yeah, back to you, Kyle. The cars and the buses dropping from the sky was fucking great.
Yeah.
Like a bus just drops from the fucking sky. The reporter who gets cleaned up by the flying debris.
Oh, the billboard that just
just
wipes him
fucking
out.
takes him out.
I got to be careful here because I watched like 5 disaster movies in the last week to
you-
prepare for
on a kick.
our tangents. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm now getting confused about what happened in each kind of disaster scene in each movie. Like the billboard, I'm like, fuck, was that?
It
this
was
one?
because
That
I only
this
watched the one
Okay.
this week. and-
Right, okay. That was definitely
it was definitely yeah. That shit was legit. I even liked the scene where they're on the plane early in
Yep.
Yeah.
no one's ever died from turbulence. There's a bit of a
Oh,
quote
yeah.
there.
Oh, that's the first sign of the romantic kind of subplot.
Yeah, by squeezing a hand to death.
Yeah. Ever been on a flight that goes that bad, guys?
Oh, no.
Yes.
We've been on plenty of planes.
Yes.
We've been on plenty of planes together.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah,
Was I there?
You'd had 18 beers.
Probably watching fucking the day off.
You were the turbulence.
we put you in the carry-on. No, I've been on a.
Here comes the wave!
I've been on a flight where the hostesses got panicked and strapped themselves into the chair and started reading the emergency evacuation.
Jesus.
I'm exaggerating slightly, but fuck, that's not fun.
Yeah,
I wish Jake Gyllenhaal was there to calm me down or grip my hand.
Do we want to talk about the Wolves?
Go on.
How did you feel about BJ?
Yeah.
How did you feel about the necessity of the Wolves?
They added some tension that was probably missing. It was such a slow burn without some immediacy, so I'm okay with it.
I agree with you there.
Yeah,
it was there was a little bit of a lull in the movie,
That's
in the tension, because all the big shit had kind of happened, and now we're just dealing with like the aftermath of it.
What else can we do?
I think we're in the eye at that point.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see how you could misinterpret it and go, why is there all of a sudden wolves? What are we watching now? But no, this is why.
It's also believable as a setup that some animals would escape.
Yeah.
And it just sucks that their wolves are not like
Lions.
sloths or something that can't be fucked. It's the human hunting ones, damn it. Yeah. But also, to tie that back in with the visuals, the boat going down the main
So
street,
good.
whatever the main strip there is of New York,
So good.
that looked fucking great at the time.
Fifth Avenue.
Is it Fifth Ave?
Probably.
It is. And the sound it makes as well. You're like, what is happening now? Then it's a fucking boat.
And it just, as it crawls past, and then the way that became part of the plot going forward with them having to need it for the medicine.
Yes.
And the way that they introduced the wolves through that all tied in really nicely. Didn't feel too tacked
Once
on at all.
again, good writing.
Yeah, it was.
It's good writing.
It really
That
was,
critic's coming back up again, making a dick of himself.
Yeah.
Saying
They
it's
could
not
have
good
fucked that
writing.
up, but they pulled it off pretty well, and they probably ran it for long enough with the wolves.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, it didn't need too much. I would have preferred the bear to be loose, to be honest.
Yeah.
Couple of polar bears.
Give me a bear.
You just give them honey.
There was a bear in that place. Like, what kind of place is this where they got wolves and bears in the middle of New York City?
In like these dark dens as well.
Yeah.
Bear with
the
me.
wolves are all worked up.
I just want to pitch an idea. Snakes, lots of snakes, and we put Samuel L. Jackson in there as well.
This isn't bad. Go on.
Snakes
In a library.
In a library.
Okay. Write that down.
Yep, I got that.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll put that to our people.
This is why I'm an
Snakes
actor and
and
not a writer, I guess.
Yeah, so cool. All right, so we're all happy with the Wolves.
Yes, liked it. Yep.
Happy-ish.
Yep.
All right. I wanted to talk about my cry moments, or at least my well-up moments.
Before we
Not a
do,
full cry.
I've got one more thing about the first
No.
the
Yeah,
setup.
please.
The first setup. One of the things I love as one of my favourite cliches is panicked birds.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking
was
love
sick.
it.
Yeah.
Love it
Sick,
when the
that.
birds are freaking out.
And everyone
it's-
looks up to the sky.
Yeah, like your early warning system is the nerds or the birds, right? But fucking no one listens to the nerds.
It's really good.
And then you see the birds freaking out, and all of a sudden you're like, the nerds are right.
If I am anywhere
really good.
and a fucking shitload of birds start flying in
Yep.
the opposite, I follow the flock.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
with the flock, man.
Fucking
I'm out
A.
of there.
Yeah. Then you find out it's just some dude
It's
with
just
some
a-
fish and chips.
Just ducks doing
It's a
regular
disaster for that
migration.
guy. Trust me, it's a fucking absolute disaster.
He spilled his chips.
It's a one-man disaster.
They're everywhere. There's seagulls. The seagulls will eat him alive. So I had a few well-up moments.
Yep.
I didn't go full cry, which
Right.
surprised me because
Okay.
normally I do in these type movies. If this was a Michael Bay one, he probably would have got me.
Right.
Because he goes over the top with that stuff. So well-up moments. I have no better way to describe this character, so I do apologize. When the cancer kid holds out the book to Jake's mum
Oh, yeah.
after she decides to stay at the hospital with him.
His
Yeah.
name's Peter.
So you know how she says, what?
His name's Peter.
Oh, sorry, Peter. When Peter holds out the book to Jake's mum, Peter's fine.
He has a name.
That got me because she stays behind. She's like,
Yes.
"Oh, I'm probably going to die, but I'm definitely not leaving this boy alone."
Yes. Okay,
There's a lot of heroes in this movie,
Oh,
but that moment might be the most heroic of them all.
So what they're doing here, and these are, I hope I don't tread on too many of your moments here, but just in terms of what they're doing with it, which worked as well as things that worked, giving us glimpses of humanity to let us know that we're worth saving, Ken.
Yep.
That's what it's about.
I love that.
wasn't too many bad.
He's welling up right now, ladies and gentlemen. I got him.
I am
Fucking
getting,
got him.
I've got goosebumps. There was really only one other bit.
You better say that.
That was the other bit. Yeah, so it was when Frank falls through the building, and then he's like cuts his rope to save the others. Ooh.
Yeah, Frank.
That's
Got
just
me. Fucking
That's
rest
just
in peace.
holding on,
Yeah.
blood pouring out of his hands.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit of blood there. That made me squirm. I'm not good with blood.
And that one of my favorite moments was where Dennis Quaid throws Dash into a huge hole and he smashes his head.
That is good.
It was
So
getting
weird.
cold, yeah.
The one last well-up moment was when Dennis Quaid Jack, I believe his character is, finally comes in and opens the doors and his son's there.
And,
And someone goes, "Who is that?" And Jake Gyllenhaal goes, "My father."
It's my father.
And I was like, "Whoa, you got me."
Who is that?
My father. We made it. Of course I did.
Yeah, so they were my well up moments. Anyone got any others? You were probably very emotional.
Yeah, I was very, very invested. But the only letdown I had, I feel like the movie kind of ended, and I was very upset because it was just like, oh, there's Dad. Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
You want to catch a ride on a helicopter? Sweet.
Yeah, fucking love
Let's get out of
helicopters.
here. The bits I got really invested in was the mob mentality when the police officers are like, they're all going to safety. We can go to safety, and then you see him later, completely frozen on the ground.
Oh yeah.
That
Even
made
the
me
old
sad.
people that lay down for a little kip and then they were frozen dead when they went to leave.
And the three fellas.
So let's not do a head count. Let's just keep moving.
Just kicks
No need for a head count.
kicks a little bit of snow over them as he's saying it.
And the other one is the three guys in the weather station, whatever it is.
Yes.
And that guy's not going to see his daughter again.
yeah.
Oh man, it broke me.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
I got really welled up on that
did
bit.
get me. That's when they pour the whiskey.
And they pour the whiskey.
I know they're dying.
Yeah, they're done.
yeah.
They know it.
Oh yeah.
I would be grabbing that bottle and locking myself in the toilet. And just be like, fuck y'all.
It's not enough for all of us.
Yeah, I'll get drunk in here.
I would have poured it on myself and set myself on fire. I ain't freezing to death.
Everyone's
I'm
warm.
on fire, baby.
Yeah, opposite.
If
Take that,
anything,
nature.
That's probably perfect warm weather. If you're on fire. And
Actually, be scientifically
They balance
accurate.
each other out.
I think he might be right.
Because what's it going to do? It's going to calmly ease.
Yeah.
You're going to
Yeah.
be warm and cold. Sure, you'll get a little bit cold at the end, a little bit like charred skinned, but you're alive and you're seeing your daughter.
It's exactly like getting a family block of chocolate and a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's not science, mate. I'm starting to doubt your credentials.
It's the balance of opposites.
Yeah.
That's how the world exists.
Do you know which bit didn't make me well up as dialogue? And he goes something but like, Mr. President, Los Angeles has been devastated by a series of tornadoes. I was like, oh, nothing about it. Nothing about it's been lost. So, well, how's San Diego?
I love how anti-LA this movie podcast is.
It's a bit LA. We love you, LA.
Yeah, we do.
Just a bit hello.
Yeah.
I would have preferred Bill Paxton butt naked with a bottle of scotch facing down that bloody tornado.
So, what have we got? Has anyone got anything they didn't like? Because I actually really battled with this to find something I didn't like. I fucking enjoyed the whole thing.
There was a few clunk for me.
It was good. Yeah,
but,
a bit of clunk. Yeah,
But I don't
didn't
mind
get
clunk.
that.
Let's
Yeah.
remember, I don't mind clunk.
You love your
I'm
clunk.
a
You're
big
really
fan
trying
of-
to get the clunk going, aren't you?
Yeah, the
You're a clunk man.
dead hope is right.
Hashtag clunk.
Let's clunk it up. Clunk,
Yeah.
clunk it up.
That's a pass for me.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll catch on 6 months late anyway. I'm that guy. Honestly, I was asking for a rubber when I was in year 10. I couldn't work out what I was giggling about. But anyway, carry on. I found it could be a little clunk at times. Oh, fuck, he got me.
You mean at the start? When was it clunk?
No, just every now and again.
I can't do this.
Woo!
I hate it.
Took 2 seconds.
Go on.
every now and again, I found it just a little not perfect.
Yep.
So I can't say it was the perfect film. However, for what it was, I
there's only one
fucking
perfect
thoroughly
film, but
enjoyed
yeah.
it.
I judge a movie by if I yell out for someone to get me a beer, or I'm happy to pause a movie. I'm happy to pause the movie and go get a beer and have a vape. I paused a few times. There was
Oh, so if this wasn't good, you wouldn't pause? You just like duck out of the room, grab a beer, and come back?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know this is good because you're pausing. You don't want to miss a
I
beat.
don't want to miss a thing.
Don't want to miss a thing.
Oh, they should have used that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, it was bad, but bad is good and good is bad. And that's how I kind of felt with this movie.
Yeah, I didn't find anything about it bad.
Yeah, I'm
like
not-
as in, you know, you can say like, oh, it's so bad, it's good. I don't have that with this.
No,
I'm
not
like,
at all.
it's so good, it's
Not at all.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love cheese. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
didn't have
been over that.
didn't have too much.
No, I didn't.
No.
You did in your bowl.
my bowl of cheese.
You're lactose intolerant.
I thought there was no American flags other than the Statue of
the
Liberty
frozen
thing, which
one.
I
The
touched
frozen-
on. Oh, sorry, there was.
But even that didn't feel too
it
much.
wasn't. It wasn't too American.
No.
Yeah.
And as I said, there wasn't anything overly emotional and / cheesy.
No, there
which is
wasn't,
what
yeah.
Michael Bay would do. Yeah.
I don't think we've talked too much about the actual Eye of the Storm. There's not too many movies where I can think of people freezing like that quick. Like that helicopter scene where the helicopters go down, that guy opens a thing.
Pretty original.
He's already cooked. I thought that was great. Like
really good.
that's literally the Eye of the Storm.
Wasn't
Nice
a great
age.
call by him either, was it? I'll just check outside. What's it like outside, Gus? It seems a bit...
That's when you slap into the bloody jet fuel, light yourself on fire.
Right. It's not...
Pretty warm over here, Gus.
You're not going to make that one catch on, mate.
Dislikes or
No,
nitpicks?
legitimately, I didn't even worry about the science of it.
Don't, because I did.
Okay,
I
good.
checked it all out.
Yeah.
Pretty accurate.
Okay.
Yeah. So move on.
It could happen.
Move on. No, quick, move on.
So I wasn't bothered by that. I've seen
Yeah,
this
who
several
cares?
times before.
Who cares about the
like
science?
everyone has. Like it's been around a long time. It's,
If you're going into this movie hoping to get educated, you're fucking watching the wrong movie.
Yeah.
Go watch Armageddon.
Okay, just while we're on that, I have got something planned for the mini-sode, which we'll record next week, which is basically not Armageddon, it's exactly that. I've found because I did actually do the scientific research on this film, I've found the most scientifically accurate films and the least scientifically accurate films.
Nice.
Mainstream blockbuster movies.
Right,
So
right.
we're going to
Ooh,
cover
that
that
should
off
be
in the
interesting.
mini-sode. I think
Yeah.
you guys will like it.
Okay, yeah,
And
yeah.
you'll actually probably be quite surprised, as I was doing
Okay.
the research. Yeah.
it's about time we took this podcast up a notch intellectually.
Yeah. So sorry,
Maybe I should sit
you're
this
about
one
to. Do you mind? You're about to nitpick slightly.
Not really. I really don't have many nitpicks, to be honest. In
Great.
fact, I've got a list of things like just random observations of shit that I enjoyed.
Go.
But I don't have necessarily anything that plot was what it was. It's so basic. It's like we're all fucked. A man wants to save his son.
Yep.
Wife supports him in his endeavours.
Perfect.
Off you go.
Yeah.
Put it in my veins.
Thank you very much. And just, I think the plot was completely carried by the visuals, and the visuals were fucking spot on.
man.
You could have told me it was made last year,
Yep.
and I would have been like, "Yep, gotcha." Yeah,
I really like the visuals from space as well as another perspective of it.
that was
Like, seeing
another
that.
good plot device as well as
Yeah.
having the people that are removed from it completely watching on from above. Like all those little, there's actually layers in it that I really enjoyed in that regard. Like I
Clever.
mentioned before, yeah.
Yep.
Really well done. Plus, I've got a couple of questions that were raised, like sort of somewhere between dumb questions and the high and mighty existential questions
Yes.
that it made me think about. So I got some stuff there for you. But things that I just enjoyed as I go when I'm watching, I go, oh, I like that, and I pause it and I put it in my phone.
Yeah.
I love it when a man of science tells you that your best bet left is to pray.
Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful little cliche
It's
from
his
these
way
sort
of
of
saying,
movies.
You're fucked.
What
mate.
should we do? Start praying.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well,
yeah.
but you've never believed in. Yeah, exactly, mate.
Yeah.
that's
When
right.
that guy goes, it's a bit too late for that. When he realizes, we're cooked here.
Yep.
Yep.
Don't worry
Yep.
about
I love
us.
it. Man, I bet you he's been a denier his whole life, and all of a sudden he's like, just have a pray. It's all you got left.
Yeah.
Yep. He's basically saying also, should have fucking listened to me a while ago.
Oh, that
I literally
fucking
stood up
vice
at the
president,
pulpit.
man.
Yeah,
Fuck.
but even the vice president, they established he was the villain. He was the human villain. They were obviously nature turned villainized.
Soft villain, but
yeah. Yeah, because
although he did kill hundreds of millions of people.
Yeah.
but-
yeah, he's negligent.
With his inaction.
He was negligent, not
Yeah,
evil.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
a difference.
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like, it could argue in a court of law.
Worrying about the budget.
Yeah, he's like,
Economic disasters just as bad. no?
100%. Yeah, but again, very relevant. We won't go down that path, but very relevant still.
That's our other pod that we speak about.
Yeah, listen to that, Woke with BJ. That's it. It's just still trying to get it off the ground. It's been a bit clunk. I'm so sorry. But even he gets redeemed to an extent.
Yes.
And if it's just
Yeah,
him
he does, by the
showing
well,
his humanity.
yeah.
All
He
did
still
was
has
admit
the
his
he still has the
mistake.
blood of millions on his hands,
Yeah.
but he did redeem himself.
Can I just ask
slightly.
a question?
I was wrong. That was his redemption.
He's like, whoops.
I was wrong. Yeah.
My bad.
They could do a sequel to this, but just in another country that's not America. So does everyone else die? Like, what's happening?
South of that line, you're all good.
I'm just happy I live in Australia. I'm sitting there like toasty going,
You're
shit.
like, yeah.
What's going on over there?
No, I'm pretty sure doesn't it show Australia getting wiped out?
He drew a line on the map and said everyone needs to get below this line.
Yeah.
Oh,
Australia.
so maybe it was
Like
one
the
of the
safety.
other disaster movies I watched in the last 5 days. It's
Do you
all a
reckon,
blur
like,
at this
you
point.
could stand at the line and you'd be like, cold, warm, cold, warm, cold, warm. Like, it's just like, fuck these
so.
science. We should have listened to these science guys and the birds a lot earlier, fellas.
Yeah, I'm just
Birds and nerds.
Birds
That's what you said.
Yeah.
You should
birds and nerds. That's great.
Yeah. also they also showed a couple of more bits of humanity. Obviously, we mentioned the doctor who stays with the kid, even though everyone else fucked off. Did you notice that?
Very
How many
quickly.
other people are just in beds?
Yeah.
The fact that
A lot.
she chose to stay for one kid, even though she could probably go and save more people, but whatever, it was to show humanity.
Yep.
But when they sent the ambulance back,
Yes.
that's another
good.
glimpse of humanity.
Yep.
Just
on the humanity thing, very slightly, sorry to stop you there.
You're right.
It was intentional to show, because that's all in New York, that stuff.
Yep.
It's intentional to show how the people... No, that's not in New York, is it?
No, it can't be in New
Cut
York.
that bit off.
Philadelphia. Wherever.
Sorry.
Washington. It took me a while to work out he wasn't in LA, and he's like, I'm gonna head over there. I was like, it's a fucking long way, mate.
It's a distance. I'll come for you in
You've got the
24
map.
days.
You just drew a big bloody red line across it. Can't you see how far it is?
I have got that in my fun facts. I Google Maps it
Right.
from
Can't
Philly
fucking
to
wait.
New York Library.
You've got to respect that, don't
Yeah,
you?
that's
Look
great.
at that, Duff. Just fucking
That's
soak it in.
That's research, friends.
Just revel in it. And a couple of other little twists I liked. I liked when they were fleeing into Mexico, and Mexico was like, no, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they were like, I tell you what, forgive all our debt, which I thought was also terrible negotiating on Mexico's part, because who gives a fuck? You've got bigger problems, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think America's calling off the debt collectors. You know what I mean?
pretty sure they are,
They're
yeah.
like trying to rebuild
Yeah.
them, but you could have gone shot higher right there if you're Mexico. You're like, we'll save all your citizens, but I don't know what I'd ask for.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
thought about this too deeply, but better than that.
Don't they say that would be and this might be for your woke podcast, so excuse me, but don't they say that would be the biggest problem with global warming is the global warming refugees?
Yeah.
That's going to be
That
the
would make sense.
downfall of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Jeez, that got grim. That's definitely for the other podcast.
Yeah.
Can I ask you
You can.
one of the big questions that came to me? Like, they are in the library, and to stay warm, they need to start a fire.
Mm.
So for starters, they choose books instead of
Furniture.
bookcases, right?
Yeah.
But I was just like, burn the fucking chairs
Wood.
or whatever, right?
There is wood holding up the books, friends.
And it's covered in varnish. That shit will go straight up.
So much
I
fingers.
mean, it might die. It might be poisonous, but
Fuck it.
that was okay. So this might be a very, very minor nitpick, but more for the comedic purposes
Yes.
than anything else from my point of view.
Go on.
They were super sort of like hyperbolic about burning the books. Like there was sort of like the one dude's protecting that's another
Bible?
glimpse of humanity is the atheist protecting the Bible.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's the only fucking copy.
yeah.
Man, they're in drawers in fucking crappy hotels and
I
shit.
didn't even. I might have been
We can
looking at
find
my
them.
phone, typing up my note. Before I didn't
He
pick that up.
was
yeah.
hugging the
Yeah,
Bible
right,
all the
I
way.
didn't
At the
see-
end
yeah,
as well. They showed
okay.
him hugging the
Didn't
Bible
even
like
pick
he'd
that up.
fucking saved the Dead Sea Scrolls. Bro, it's just the Bible from the New York Library. Like, Also, the King...
It's one of 800 million
Exactly.
copies.
You grab the King James Bible. What if it's the wrong one? What if it's the Book of Mormon we need? What if it's the Quran? Whatever. You made a bad call.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you try and be a hero. You're fucking ostracized 85% of the world. But that's another story. Right?
Yeah. It's also for the woke podcast.
That's right. I've got a question for you. What book would you burn first?
Oh, fuck.
And what book would you save?
Well, I'd burn the Bible first.
Start again. Just give us a fucking
and I'd
redo.
save the Quran.
Give us a redo. Give us a redo on that shit.
I would burn any science book ever.
He's like, we got
burn
tax
it.
law. Great
Yeah.
call. Great call by that guy, burning the tax law.
And then I probably wouldn't burn Matthew Riley Ice Station.
Yeah.
That's a
I
good
knew- I
book.
knew you'd have an
That's
answer.
a good book.
You know what I'd burn?
Yeah.
I'd burn the Game of Thrones series, which is a shame because I really enjoyed the TV show.
Yeah.
But I never want to hear anyone tell me they read the fucking book again instead of watching the fucking
that's
TV
good.
show.
Just watch the
God, they
TV
came-
show.
they
Or
came
Lord
out
of
of
the Rings,
everywhere.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've read the Lord of the Rings book.
Of course, yeah.
Everyone fucking has.
Yeah.
So
It's weird. It doesn't have sharks or creatures in it.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
got
Lord of the Rings
goblins,
does.
friends.
Sorry, goblins. Yeah.
believe it or not,
Marines? Does it have any Marines in it?
Yes, ex-Marines, but they're soldiers.
they brought the war home with them,
Okay.
Ken,
They're soldiers.
in their
Okay.
mind.
I'm listening.
They've got a service dog. I don't know why this led me to do this, but I actually ended up Googling worst books of all time.
Oh, yeah. What do we got?
The Beautiful Poetry of Donald Trump was the fucking top result.
Burn it.
Should have burned the manuscript, not just
Yeah.
book. This is one I'd burn as well. How to talk to your cat about gun safety.
That's great. I'd
Probably
read the
not
shit
going to
out of
need it, right? It's probably not going to be that relevant
Yeah.
later on. And this one definitely is a book called List of the Lost, and it's a 2015 128-page novel about the demise of a 1970s American sprint team written by musician Morrissey.
Ah.
Burn it. Burn every copy of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, 128 pages. That's not a novel.
Quite short story. Short.
So yeah, I'd burn those, and I'd probably keep Where Did We Come From?
Where did you go?
Just so the next generation can learn about the wonders and pitfalls of reproduction as well.
Like, where's he going with
From
this?
cartoons. Am I the only one who read that? How did you guys learn about the birds and the bees then?
I watched it.
In rich detail. Very good. Cast and crew, you want to do it?
Go on.
Yep. Writer and director Roland Emmerich.
Yes.
He's never ever going to be critically acclaimed. He's just not that sort of director.
He's
so
a
for him to
blockbuster
get,
guy.
yeah, for him to get 47, that's about as high as he's probably ever going to get. Okay. He makes big dumb blockbusters, as you said, purely for entertainment. He's not looking to win awards. He's not looking. He just wants to entertain people, and I like that about him.
Fair.
I read
He's
a lot
dead
of
hope of fucking director, man. He's just here to entertain.
Yeah, I read quite a few interviews from him, like while researching this, like just little bits. And I think I really like this guy.
Yeah,
yeah.
like,
you
as
should read
a person,
a bit. Yeah,
not just
yeah.
his work, but he's
as a person,
want to hang out. Like,
yeah, definitely. He seems very cool. One thing I was going to say before about him, when we're talking about the global or climate change type stuff, this was the first ever Hollywood film. When I say Hollywood, big blockbuster film that was carbon neutral. He made a point of it, and he actually spent $200,000 of his own money to carbon offset the film by planting trees,
planting eucalyptus trees,
great.
and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So very cool. So if you're going to do a movie about climate change, he actually went, well, I'm not going to be ridiculous here and make money off climate change and literally contribute to climate change with the $125 million I'm spending on this. So,
and
I thought
is
that
it
was
true
pretty
that
cool.
he also made all the actors walk from whatever city
Everywhere.
they lived in to New York for the shoot? Yeah, no, I respect that. Well done.
Yeah, very good.
Dennis Quaid did it in 36 hours in the snow.
I'm also convinced that he's never read a single thing a critic's ever written. He's just that guy. When you read his interviews, like, this guy doesn't give a fuck.
Don't check your mentions.
He knows what he's making.
His audience isn't critics. His audience is for the everyday person who wants to be entertained for like 2 hours.
Motherfucker probably wakes up in a swimming pool of cash every day and goes, I'm not reading the AV Club, I'm good.
I think you're right.
Scrooge McDuck. Who gets me, that kid?
His overall Metacritic was 44, which is to be expected.
That's where he's at.
Yep. He has one film above 60.
Ooh.
What do you reckon? Do you know his body of work?
Yeah,
well,
I can name a couple, but
he's got a good 15 big movies.
Independence Day, right?
Yeah,
it has to be Independence Day.
No.
Oh.
This one will actually surprise you. You won't know he did it.
All right, go.
The Patriot with Mel Gibson.
Oh, yeah.
And Heath Ledger. So he did that.
Yeah.
Wrote and directed. Yep.
Fun
and
fact.
that was above 60.
Screenplay, right? Because it's
Yes.
based on what's his name's movie?
Story by or screenplay by. Or whatever.
He does.
I can't watch that movie again.
Tom Clancy.
Death of.
Is it?
Oh, the Patriot. No, that's the Civil War
You're
one.
thinking
Yeah,
Patriot
Mel
Games.
Gibson, Heath
Patriot
Ledger.
Games. I haven't seen the Patriot.
You've never seen The Patriot? Wow. Put that on your list.
Okay.
We'll pause while you write it down.
Okay, got my pen out here.
Get your tears ready, friend.
Patriot.
About to get real.
Patriot Games. The Parrot. I've written the Parrot. I'll be so
The Parrot's not bad. So yeah, The Patriot. Everything else he's done is basically between 40 and 60. There's
What
no
did
real.
Independence Day get out of curiosity?
I didn't cat there. Sorry.
It's over 50.
It was around. Yeah, it was 55ish,
Yeah.
57, I think. If I want to get that right. And they're pretty much everything else is like that 40 to 60, and they're all basically in the same lane. So I'll just list a few movies he's done.
Thank you.
Stargate.
Great.
Yeah, the Kurt Russell one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Independence Day. He did Godzilla before the
Matthew
new
Broderick.
Godzillas.
The Matthew
Yeah,
Broderick
that's
one,
right. Like the 90s one.
The one with a
late
good
90s.
soundtrack.
That hurt him a
Yeah,
lot.
did have a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
P. Diddy?
Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Jeremiah.
Jamiroquai.
Ugh.
One of my most hated artists of all time.
Yeah, other than
Jamiroquai.
Jamiroquai.
I'm going deeper underground.
Don't.
I wish you would.
Yeah, fuck, and never come out.
Take your hat with you.
Godzilla. He did 10,000 BC, which was fine. That's like his G-rated movie. He did 2012.
Yeah, I'm big
White
fan.
House Down, which was the shit version of Olympus Has Fallen. Midway, Moonfall. So they're in. That's actually in chronological order. From
He's
start
having a bad run.
Yeah.
Midway and Moonfall are garbage.
and not to mention Independence Day Resurgence just before that. I don't think he's going to get 125 mil thrown at him too many more times. He seems to have. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, Moonfall, man, that is right up my alley. And it's him as well, like the biggest disaster guy. And
Yep.
then fucking what did they do?
This man, very early on in the pod, when I said his name, I said he's a hit and miss guy.
Yeah.
For me, like there's almost never been someone more hit and miss.
Yeah.
Because like put The Day After Tomorrow in my fucking veins and throw 2012 in the sea, and I never want to watch it.
I didn't
again.
mind 2012.
You know what I mean? Like, how can two films basically they're the same thing?
Yeah.
But one is so far from the other in terms of how enjoyable or rewatchable or whatever it is.
Here's how you fix 2012.
Yeah.
You swap John Cusack's character with Woody Harrelson's character. Swap them around.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right.
All of a sudden, 2012.
Do you know what else you do?
Sounds pretty good.
You gotta,
No, it wasn't that bothered me. It was just everything about
Just,
it. Didn't have any of the heart. Didn't have any of the good writing. That was
didn't have
Stereotype.
1,000 people working for a year.
Didn't
on
have
the
a
fucking
yeah,
visuals.
the
I
visual
bet.
effects were gross in it. Yeah.
He threw in a lot of stereotypes in it as well.
Yeah, it was pretty cheesy. Yeah, it was.
So that his best is kind of like ID4, Day After Tomorrow, The Patriot, those sort of ones.
Yeah.
And then his worst is real bad. It's like for me, sorry, in my opinion, but Godzilla, 10,000 BC,
Yeah.
2012, White House Down. They're so different to the other ones. It's like he's two different people.
I don't remember hating White House Down. Is that Channing Tatum?
I
in that?
fucking
Yeah.
hate White House Down.
I despise that film. Yeah.
I'm so choosing it for the podcast. Fuck
you
you
go
all.
and do it. Yes, sorry, go on.
They probably scored over 50.
Okay, what do you guys think about? It's not as good as the original, but the second Independence Day.
I didn't mind it.
Thank you.
I just know everyone else hated it.
I liked it.
I thought it was cool. Talk to me about visual effects in that.
Yeah.
That final bit where the giant aliens like fighting everyone and
Yeah.
like fighting whatever the fuck is. That looks wicked.
Yeah, I didn't mind
Yeah,
it.
I didn't
thought
mind
was
it.
great.
I just hated how they tried to redo some stuff from the first one, like the Bill Pullman speech.
Why
are we
was-
doing this again?
Yeah.
Like you did that in the So there were some things that
Like
bothered
Will
me. but-
Smith's son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's coming
I-
back to me now. I was trying to remember one single thing about
Yeah.
it, but when you guys started talking about
I
it.
thought it was fine. I'll
Yeah.
probably never watch it again.
No, maybe
but
not.
I was like, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I went to the movies to see it.
I tell a lie. I'll probably watch it really soon because I'll
Yeah.
watch Independence Day.
Now that we're talking about it, I'm like, I should watch that
I'll give
again.
it a watch.
I might have 18 beers and fucking watch it. All right,
Warm up the cheese.
one last movie from Roland's that I want to mention.
Righto.
And you guys, I'm almost certain, don't know he did this. And I'm almost certain that it'll appear on the pod at some point, so we won't go into too much detail.
Okay.
Universal Soldier.
Right.
Dolph Lundgren.
The original.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah.
Oh,
I did not know he did
No
that.
shit. That was
So I
based,
fucking love that movie.
that was basically his first big movie. That's
Oh,
what got
wow.
him the money to do all these other ones after it. So he'd done a couple of small ones before. I think he did a TV movie and maybe a TV episodes, a TV show, something, whatever they did back then. Like
He
this, we're
made
talking
lo-
late 80s.
He made Lundgren and Van Damme look like De Niro and fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That was a
Fuck.
phenomenon when it came out, that movie.
Oh,
Everyone fucking
it's
talked about that.
Without
nonstop.
doubt, me and my brother's most watched movie from like 19, whenever it came out, to like 96.
Right.
It was, once a month, I reckon we watched that movie. Yeah.
All right.
Brilliant.
Tune in for that episode.
Brilliant film. So yeah, that's what I got on Roland. Any other thoughts on the Roland?
No, I'm surprised. I just completely agree with you. A bit of hit and miss, but Jesus, his highs are fucking good. And they're game changers. Like The Day After Tomorrow and particularly Independence Day, the first one, like changed the game.
Yep. Think about how much money this guy's banked off some of these movies.
he's banked.
So those misses, he's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Like
whatever.
what you were talking about before, but
Yeah,
like not as in his wealth, but for the studios or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he's one of the biggest money spinners in the world of cinema. With that sort of lineup.
Yeah.
Probably not anymore. With
His last
Marvel
two
and all that
movies
shit,
is,
but
not great.
no, we won't talk about Moonfall. I decided that we will not. I lasted less than 30 minutes of that.
It is stricken from the record.
Thank
I
you.
watched the whole thing.
Did you? Fuck. You're a better man than me.
I just did it for
You're a
Patrick.
more forgiving man than me.
You're a lazier drunk than me.
I'm just
That's
happy.
what it is.
I'm just happy for Patrick Wilson to have a big
Oh, fuck. Dennis Quaid. I think it's our first Quaid movie.
It might be. It might be.
Yeah, yeah.
It surprises me.
Yeah.
He's
He's a name.
he's
Good-
in
he's a good old American.
he's in quite a few kind of good bad movies, which is our kind of forte, I think. So yeah, surprised. He has an overall Metacritic of exactly 50.
Oh,
So
that's good.
maybe he is like the poster child for the
Yeah,
pod.
he really
We've never
is.
done him.
He's our patron
right on.
saint.
He's our
Yeah.
patron saint. Yeah. In the eyes of the critics, he's basically had two separate careers.
Yep.
So I've never seen anything like this. Looking at Metacritic, where he's got pre-2000. We'll call that BC.
Yeah.
And it's like everything's 70 and 80. It's
Yeah.
wild. Like it's just all green on Metacritic and it's all just qualities. There's not like one red or yellow score.
Yeah.
And then he's got post 2000s where everything's 40 or below.
Liam Neeson we talked about.
Okay,
So
great.
he had all
very
of his,
similar.
every lowest score he ever had was after 2010.
Okay.
And he had some real highs before that. So he's probably the closest one I can think of.
This movie was almost the turning point
Right.
for Dennis Quaid, where
Yeah.
he's just started going that way with like non-critically acclaimed movies and more entertainment.
Yeah.
Whereas earlier than that, he was doing the heavier dramas, the ones that the critics love. Let me ask this, guys. Who's Dennis Quaid to you? Who is he?
He's a very recognisable actor, and
but
yet I'm
what's he-
sitting here thinking,
What's he done?
I can picture him on the cover of a couple of things, and I'm trying to think of
I remember him.
Vanishing Point.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a good movie.
Yeah. Is it?
I'm a big,
I'll relook at it.
a big fan. Like the
Are ya?
Priest with Paul Bettany.
Oh, yeah.
Dennis Quaid in that.
Is
and
he? Is he in that?
Any Given
I've seen
Sunday.
that 3 times. I don't remember him.
Any Given Sunday is
Oh,
great.
he's
in
great
that.
in that. He's good in that.
How can I
And
forget?
there's a tiny
Probably his
little,
best role for me.
Oh, yeah.
tiny little movie where he Frequency as well. I
Oh,
really like that as well.
it's got
So he's
John
trying
Travolta
to
in it.
contact his dad?
Yeah, it's
Through the radio?
through the
yeah.
old school Walkman.
Yeah.
It's held up
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So he's just a guy, though.
Yeah.
That's the problem,
Which is-
isn't it?
He's not gonna. He's great and cheaper by the dozen. No, that's
Steve Martin.
Yeah. What's that?
And
other-
11 other
There's
people.
another one. With,
None of them are fucking Dennis Quaid.
what is it? He's got a huge
Who
family.
is,
this is the problem.
who is Dennis Quaid? This is my question.
You've
Just a guy.
I don't know who he is.
Question answered, Kenny.
Who the fuck is he?
We don't know.
What is he? What should he be in movies? What I don't know.
Is our patron
I
saying?
think-
Are
I
we
think
taking
he's-
him?
yeah.
We taking him off?
I think he's just kind of like a vanilla, handsome 50-year-old guy
Yeah.
that can kind of do a lot of things okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is probably his biggest movie. This would be definitely his biggest movie money-wise.
Probably, yeah.
Like, as in
But
how
if you
much
watch
it made.
a
But
Dennis Quaid movie, you don't go, "Oh, he's terrible."
No.
He's just always the same.
But you're
No.
also not going out of your way to watch Dennis Quaid's in that.
Yeah,
Holy
I will
shit.
come for you.
Yeah.
You don't have notifications
but
on your
then
phone.
he's the lead actor in massive films.
Yeah.
Like this. He's the lead guy in this.
Mm.
So how can we be so impartial to a guy that's the lead actor in something that did $553 million?
The fact
I'm
is,
so confused by his career and who he is.
the thing is here, and this is, I don't mean to slander Dennis Quaid or his family. I'm sure they're lovely. He probably was the
Randy Quaid is not lovely.
Fucking Randy Quaid's a real piece of shit. Isn't he?
Apparently.
He's the worst. He can get back in his bunker. Dennis Quaid would have been the 7th choice.
Oh,
He'd be
yeah.
in the
I
studio's
couldn't
top
find
10.
any casting what ifs.
Yeah, I promise you they checked with Tommy Cruise. They checked with
Yeah,
they worked their way down the list.
I just fucking couldn't
Maybe
find
the
it.
effects cost 120 million, and they're looking for.
We need a name, but
Let's get a young up and coming guy and a guy who's got a name who can add a bit of legitimacy to the movie.
So you're right
He's
about
not costing
that.
too much.
Roland Emmerich knew he wanted Jake Gyllenhaal. That wasn't even.
he's a baby in this.
He
Donnie
didn't have to
Darko?
audition. Yeah, it was from Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko.
He didn't have to audition for this at all,
Yeah.
which is weird because he was very early in his career,
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
But Roland Emmerich said he has to be in it.
Good eye.
And we'll just have to change the age of it because originally it was written as smaller children.
Right.
Instead of
I'm glad it's
like
not.
16,
Yeah.
17-year-olds.
Would have been
Because-
weird with the
Yeah.
romantic subplot.
Like
if they
a
were 8.
smaller children, like 8 years old, around New York City by themselves.
Yeah, a bit weird. Yeah.
No, yeah. It would be cool.
yeah.
And he nailed
It's
it.
Home Alone.
So that's Dennis Quaid. That's a good segue into Jake Gyllenhaal.
You just love saying that, don't you?
Yes.
Say it
Safe to
again.
say,
Say it again.
Jake Gyllenhaal. This is probably the one and only time we'll ever be able to discuss him in an official capacity. We've definitely touched on him because everything comes back to Jake Gyllenhaal,
Yeah,
like
it's
Kevin
the
Bacon.
12 degrees of
12
Jake
degrees of Jake Gyllenhaal. But he only has 3 other movies below 50 on Metacritic.
You got them?
Yes.
Give them to me.
Bubble Boy.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah.
Seen it.
Demolition. I liked it, but it's
Yeah,
a
you
tough
would
watch.
like
Yeah,
it.
I would. Yeah,
Do you
it's
reckon I
not-
liked it?
No, I reckon
Yeah,
I hated its guts.
Yeah, hated its
Yeah.
fucking guts. I was thinking it's Demolition
you ever
Man
seen
2.
I wouldn't strongly recommend it to anyone.
Okay.
But it's very interesting.
I'm time poor, so
Yeah.
forget about it.
Don't do it. And Accidental Love. I don't know what that is. It's from 2015. He plays like a up-and-coming senator or something.
You couldn't have a worse title.
I'm not interested.
And I bet his surname's Love as well.
I don't know how I
words.
never saw it, and I don't know how he was in it. I started looking. I just kind of clicked on it and had to look at it. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
It's like a mess, and which it was.
He ran over some producer's dog and owed him a favour.
Yes. So his highest scoring movie. What do you guys reckon it
Donnie
might be?
Darko.
No, it's not Donnie.
More information.
Donnie, what?
More information.
the movie Donnie Darko.
More information?
No, I don't know what you're asking.
Donnie Darko, the director's cut.
Okay.
And it's specific because Donnie Darko, the director's cut, scored 88.
Yeah.
Which is a really high. That's about as high as a movie scores.
Yeah.
But Donnie Darko, the studio cut
yeah.
was 71.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's a bit of an odd one there.
Wow. Yeah. Good film.
Yeah, Jake, I'm a big fan. He's probably one of my top 5 actors of all time.
I'm with you there, man. Let's high five that.
Time.
All right. What a moment.
If Jake's in it, I'm watching.
What about you? Where are you at with Jake? BJ?
I'm a fan.
Sorry to cut
I'm a
you
fan.
off.
Yeah. I couldn't list my top 5 off the top of my
Yeah.
head. I'm just not much of a rankings guy like you guys are, but I am a fan, and I don't think I've ever walked away disappointed by a Jakey performance.
Great.
What was that movie he released last year?
Ambulance. No.
The one where he's a call center worker.
Oh,
Similar to Ambulance.
Guilty or something?
Guilty. The Guilty, yeah.
The
He was an
Guilty.
ambulance dispatcher in that.
Yeah. For me, that
got a
was
promotion.
that was a huge. If he can hold this movie together and get me engrossed in the whole thing, when it's just him, well done.
Yeah. Yep.
Jack Gyllenhaal. Actually, I love.
Stop saying Gyllenhaal like it's in French.
because I know it pisses you off so much.
Please get Ken to pronounce
It's
it.
not a soft L. It's
Like you guys went from high fiving to
Gyllenhaal.
fighting
Anyway.
like this.
That's how it happened.
Anyway, sorry, go on.
And also, I like Jack Gyllenhaal.
Killing me.
I loved him in Donnie Darko, right? But the movie that
Yeah.
got me all in was End of Watch, and then it's
Yeah,
like,
great.
wow,
Yeah, cool.
this
Michael
kid,
Pena? Michael
this
Pena?
kid is not a kid anymore. He can act.
Yeah, that's a
and
really good movie.
He has not made a bad movie since.
Yeah.
I've got one more discussion point on Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay.
Jack Gyllenhaal.
Is he in the conversation for best actor of the last 20 years? And I think last time we did this, we were talking about Leo on the
Yeah.
beach.
Yeah.
And we're saying it's probably Leo.
It's
and
still Leo.
I think Jake Gyllenhaal's name came up.
Yeah, absolutely did.
This
Yeah.
doesn't change anyone's mind. Not
No.
watching the day after tomorrow,
No.
but we're still saying it's Leo.
Yeah.
But we are. Would you agree? Are you in agreement with me? That's a power move. That Jake Gyllenhaal would be in the sort of conversation. He'd be a top fiver.
Yeah.
For the last 2 decades.
Yeah, I can't think of another 5 guys better off the
Well,
top of my head.
Denzel,
Yeah.
Leo,
Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Foster.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
I got Ben Foster. Randy Quaid.
Yeah, so that's okay. We're allowed to say
I'm
that?
with you. Yeah.
Versatility.
He makes really good choices.
He has the versatility of Leo.
Yeah.
He's just a little. I don't
Leo-
know what his
Leo
difference
light.
is with Leo. He's a little
Yeah.
darker, maybe.
He
or
can
a
go
little.
a lot darker.
He can go darker.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a Nightcrawler still fucking
Oh,
blows my
yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
He takes more chances. He's not like Leo. Obviously, just works with the best filmmakers and the best filmmakers only.
Yep.
Whereas Jake Gyllenhaal goes and makes
Southpaw.
You know, he does.
Whatever
What's
the
that movie?
fuck it
The
is.
sci-fi Life, where they're on the
Life of Eddie Murphy and Martin
no,
Lawrence.
Life with Ryan Reynolds, and it's like
Oh,
it's Alien
yeah,
basically
yeah.
on the spaceship.
Oh, Alive.
Straight to
No, it's called
streaming.
Life.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking awesome sci-fi movie. If you haven't
Straight
seen
to
that.
streaming, right?
Don't watch it for Ryan Reynolds. Don't watch it for Ryan Reynolds. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, am I getting that? He is in that.
Yeah.
But
Life.
don't watch it for him. Yeah.
Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence.
All right. Any other Jake Gyllenhaal thoughts? Don't
He's good.
say it, Duff. It's Gyllenhaal. I actually YouTubed how to say Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, fuck, I knew you would.
I do it every time. I like to get it right.
I haven't had much to do this week, mate.
I've had some free nights for a change. Yeah, baby sleeping. It's nice.
Oh, good.
Kinda. I get a 2-hour window. Seal Award. So she played Jake Gyllenhaal's mother, which I mentioned before.
Very recognisable.
Won't spend long on her. She is very recognisable. But she's only been in a very small handful of films, like 10 films.
Well, she's a
If
doctor.
that-
She wouldn't have much free time.
She's got that one kid to look after.
She's actually mostly a TV star. And
Yes,
it's
that's
a
right.
show that none of us would have watched or anyone that listens to this podcast.
I will
It's
surprise
called,
you, Ken.
It's called Sisters, I think.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah, it's from the 90s. And she was the main star. She was in 130 odd episodes. From what I
Wow.
read, yeah.
Right.
You know me too
So
well. I
she
have
was,
not
she was
seen
part
it.
of the Sisters.
Right.
You may recognise her as Richard Kimball's wife in the
Ah,
That's what it is?
Yeah,
Bang!
yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's
I
what
love
it
that
is.
movie.
That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, great
Um,
flick.
It wasn't
And-
me. It was the one-armed man.
Yeah. And she also plays the president in Independence Day Resurgence.
Right.
So Roland Emmerich brought her back for that.
Oh, he's a fan.
And
You
that's
know what? I'm
like-
watching Resurgence.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'll
Change
come
my
to yours.
note.
We'll go
Change
straight
my
to yours
note.
from here. Let's
Change
do
my
it.
note.
Let's do it. All right.
I'm busy.
I assume no one's got anything further on Seal Award.
No, she was good. She did the role well. She's solid. Yep, well done.
I like how they kind of got back together.
Yeah, they did. I think they will.
Sorry, I like a happy ending.
No, it's fine. You're allowed
16 beers in, I'm hoping they get married.
18. Oh, sorry, you had 2 beers during the credits.
Yeah.
Emmy Rossum. She plays Jake Gyllenhaal's love interest.
The chick from Shameless.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I haven't seen Shameless.
Whoa.
Right. Yeah.
I did not remember that she was in this movie. I was like, fuck, that's the chick from Shameless.
Yeah.
That's basically what she does. She's done this movie.
Yeah.
She's done Shameless for all seasons, apparently.
100
Is she one of the
years now.
main cast?
Yeah.
Big time.
And she's also a very talented songstress.
Oh, I thought you were going to say dancer for some reason.
Apparently. Maybe in a film clip.
She's a very, very good dancer.
Yeah, I don't know her
She's
music
a
at
private
all,
dancer.
but apparently she's quite successful off her
Really?
music. Yeah, which I'd no
Never
idea.
heard of.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I've never heard
Played
of it.
one of the side stages at a Coachella once, I heard.
Is that right?
I made
Probably.
that- made that up.
I think they all do. If they've been in a TV show or movie and they're a band, then they've definitely done a small stage at 2 p.m. in the afternoon at Coachella.
You probably set your tent up
Stand
next to it that year, Ken.
I probably did. Dash Mihawk.
Big fan.
Yeah, it's also my porn
So he
name.
plays Dennis Quaid's kind of understudy, which I think we figured out now who he is
Just
in the
a
movie.
big, tall redhead. Doing his thing.
Yes.
Good for him.
He's man, he is just that guy. Like he's been in a lot of shit.
Identity.
Never knew his name, but yeah, definitely face.
he's been in so much shit for like 15
Romeo and
minutes.
Juliet was his biggest movie.
Yes,
Never seen it.
Massive in that.
I noted
It's
that
Baz,
down.
Baz Luhrmann, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Fuck, I hate Baz Luhrmann.
No, don't do Baz Luhrmann.
Not as a person, just what he does.
I hate him as a
Probably
person.
as a person.
Yeah, I sent him emails to tell him.
Just once a month. Just fucking hate you.
Still hate you, Baz.
Yeah. I recently saw him. So yeah, Romeo and Juliet definitely his biggest role ever.
Dash.
And I thought he was going to be a star after that.
Yeah, man.
It's kind of weird he's not.
Was he Juliet?
No, he was like Romeo's right hand man.
That
He
would
was
have
like
been
his
a
best
twist.
friend.
That would have been a great
Was that
twist.
Othello? Othello? Or
I don't know.
Othello or
I
some
don't know
shit?
Shakespeare.
Oh, you don't?
No, I just knew he was in the movie.
I'm
I didn't actually watch it.
fairly well read.
I'm much better with Yodish.
Oh, nice callback. Never cracked the A-list Dash, which
No.
shocks me. But he's in A-grade movies, but he's just that 10-minute character. I'm surprised that he's not in every war movie playing a side character as a Marine.
Yeah.
Because he's like got that thick jaw and he's like a big guy.
He's in the Thin Red Line.
Is he?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
Literally what you said. He
Yeah.
is in the Thin Red
Perfect.
Line.
I could see him like just remake every war movie and have him as like the sixth member of the platoon.
Yeah.
And he has like 8 lines and he's like got a beard, he's got all the war shit on, and it's like very believable.
Yeah.
He's that guy. He should be that guy, but
Yeah.
he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I word to his agent.
It's like Dane DeKilk. Never made it.
I don't know who that is.
never
You got
will.
me there.
You never will.
We'll move on.
He never made it.
We'll move on.
Poor guy.
Fun facts. You guys ready?
Naomi.
Jesus Christ!
That's a fun fact. The consultation by NASA scientists was requested before the filming of this movie, but NASA stated that the events in this movie were too ridiculous to actually occur and denied the request.
Perfect.
NASA sent a memo out to all of its employees stating that they were not allowed to comment on the likelihood of the events portrayed, but later they rescinded this restriction.
It's a
so they're now allowed to.
conspiracy.
Yeah, I think there's something going on there,
Right.
which is why I included that little fun fact. Yeah,
Right.
Oh, well, NASA always get a mention in these movies. Like,
Yeah.
who
How
cares?
deep did you go, Ken? on
They're more
that?
like.
I didn't go too deep. I
Oh,
left
yeah.
that one. Yeah,
They're like, we'd rather talk about
I-
aliens, but
leave that
let's talk about aliens instead.
I was actually running out of time at this point. The river crossing scene filmed on the US-Mexico border, which we spoke about,
Yeah.
was actually filmed on the Rio Grande,
Right,
which
they
is
shot
Rio
4
Grande,
people.
Rio Grande,
Yeah.
which was
Prior to the wall being built, I assume. How's that going? Is it done?
This is my favorite fun fact of all.
Okay.
South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone, be familiar with their work.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we're all fans.
Mm-hmm.
Managed to get their hands on a copy of this movie's script during its pre-production.
I love where this is going.
The two planned to secretly shoot the same movie with puppets instead of actors, word for word. So it's going to be identical. It's going to be called the same.
Jesus.
Everything about it is exactly the same, but with puppets, and they were going to release it on the same day.
Oh, those guys are great.
This was all in action, like it was all going to happen.
Yeah.
And then eventually the lawyer convinced them that they would never get it released.
Yeah.
So they had already started planning it. They were spending money on it. And then their lawyer came in and said, hey, if you do that, it's going to get pulled straight away for copyright or whatever.
Yeah.
They're probably going to sue you. Don't waste your money. But fuck, I want to see that
They were
movie.
like-
yeah.
they were
I want to see that movie so bad.
Oh, same.
Oh,
So
man.
instead, they were like, fuck it, let's take acid and wear dresses on the red carpet at the Oscars.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a much better decision.
I wonder how long after that Team America was. We couldn't have been that far. It was around
No.
2010 or something. wasn't it?
America.
Yeah.
That would have been an all-time great troll.
So
Matt Damon.
I already mentioned this earlier, and I was right. I did put it in my fun facts. It was 1,000 digital artists worked on this movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Digital artist is a bit of a misnomer, but whatever.
This is
Computer operator. Let's
Hey. Back to the call center in Bangladesh. They're doing this on the side while taking calls. Yeah. The highest grossing movie to ever be made in Canada.
Right.
It was actually shot in Montreal, where we've spoken about this on the pod before. They shoot a lot of movies up there for tax evasion purposes.
Tax evasion and good lighting.
Yeah. And socialist healthcare.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
And for the...
In your face, America.
Yeah, no, okay.
All right, so I Google Mapped it because this is a question that gets asked. It's like an FAQ for this movie. He walks so far.
Yeah. Is that me earlier in the pod?
No, that's the voice I'm doing now.
Why do I feel
my new
affected?
voice for people that watch films like this and try and pick them apart.
I'd like to welcome Russell Coit, our special guest.
Yeah. So a walk from Philadelphia to New York City would take 30 hours to walk. So it's actually closer than what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
His son's a danger and he
wait.
walked 36 hours
That's
later.
on a good day in perfect weather, basically. So Google Maps doesn't factor in weather.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So not a cataclysmic environmental event, right?
So that would be a 30 hours.
Is that on the app? You put in...
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
You
No,
put in
sorry.
rain, train.
I wish you could.
Fucking once in a billion year
Why
storm.
didn't he ride a bike?
Okay, a second ice age. Guys, it's gone up to 4 days.
30 hours straight walk.
Yeah, right.
So you'd have to walk for 30 hours. Doesn't factor in your pit stops to get some jerky and water.
The amount of times I've stopped walking
So you could
for a bit
assume
of jerky.
you could assume that amount and that sort of strenuous activity would probably take 3 to 5 days.
Right.
Add in all the snow and weather,
Yeah.
you're probably looking at an 8 to 10 day walk.
A week, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that long.
No.
Got there a lot quicker. So
did.
that is a nitpick of the film.
Yes.
But
But he
not as
drove.
big a
How
nitpick as
far
a-
did he get to drive?
That's a good point. I did not factor that in because I did not get the pin drop location of where the car
didn't ping
ran
you.
into. Yeah, I wish I did.
Yeah.
Could have been more accurate. Sorry, guys. I should.
Also, that guy nearly hit that fucking guy, mate. It couldn't have been any bigger. He nearly drove straight
Yeah.
into it. That's really it's my turn to drive, bud.
My research has been
He
weak.
did say sorry. Sorry, boss.
He did say sorry, yeah. And then he
be-
turned the
you'll be
lights
sorry
on.
when
Did you know? That's when he turned the lights on. I was like, we probably should have had those on all along, mate.
What do we got?
Closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. What do you got, BJ?
I'll go. I really enjoyed it.
Great.
I remember really enjoying it, and I really enjoyed it again. I watched it on a Saturday afternoon in the middle of a thunderstorm. I moved the TV to the front yard just to get the real feel. No, it was pretty hectic weather, but I did really enjoy it. I've mentioned to a few people around the traps in the circle of people that I talk at.
You do that too.
Yeah,
we're the same like that.
Yeah, that this is what we're doing, and across several ages and demographics, people are like, oh man, yeah, I remember that movie. It was great. It's like you said, it's like a very, very well regarded movie amongst the people, which is more important than the fucking AV club. I think it was spot on visually, and like I said, I watched it this time and noticed more depth than I'd ever noticed before, because they gave each little character just enough little room to carve out a little niche inside the story that helped propel it along in a way where we got what we always talk about. We got stakes, like we gave a shit about the main protagonists. We even gave a shit about the side guy. Like, you know, I wanted the homeless guy's dog to live. You know what I mean? You know?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a fucking
All those
complete-
little things.
Yeah, all those sort of things. And I kind of wanted him to hit it off with the chick from Shameless too. I was kind of cheering for him there too.
Yeah.
I wanted her to survive the septicemia so that he could like open his heart up to her, and I'm glad that he did.
Yep.
And I'm definitely redeeming it. I'm probably going to give it. I don't know. I haven't written anything down, but let's go 80.
Oh, good.
Whoa.
Whoa, big one.
That's a big
Good,
one.
really good
It's a
time.
big redemption. Yeah.
I'm regretting it instantly, but yeah.
I don't know. Stick to your guns.
okay.
You had a good
You
time.
panicked.
You couldn't find a bad thing about it.
I really
That's an
couldn't.
80.
I couldn't pick
It
on
could
it
be
too bad.
higher.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a much needed distraction.
What do you got, Duff?
Yeah. It's pretty obvious with it.
What was that?
Was that
Roxette?
What? It's a new catchprise. It's like, yeah, from Sandlot Kids.
You know, what is this? 2 in 1 pot?
yeah, yeah.
Clunky and now yeah.
Yeah, you've maxed out. Stop it.
All
right, go.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ask me up here.
Why did we do it?
Anyway,
we
this
asked for
movie
that.
was great. I didn't have high expectations because it's one of those movies I've seen a lot and I know exactly what's going to happen. So I decided I'll have a cheeky beer. And then the journey I went on during this movie is one of, I want to do a movie about
Alcoholism.
my watching this movie because I was just having a hoot. It was a real hoot. It was an old-fashioned hoot. I love the action. I love the... Man... I wanted everyone to get married by the end of it. It was like, oh, bloody Peter, I really hope he's okay.
Hope someone takes in that homeless guy and his dog. He deserves it.
And then maybe I thought the movie kind of finished.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I wanted more.
Yeah,
I think I wanted more of the movie.
Or you passed out.
Just give. I want to see the ice melting, and then everyone down south gets fucked.
One single daisy growing up through the ice, just to let you know that.
Yeah. So for
You want a Day After Tomorrow too?
I want a Day After Tomorrow too.
Yeah.
Maybe do it in Russia.
They made
or some
that.
shit.
It's called Snowpiercer.
It's called Friday.
Oh, Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer could be the sequel.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry, I
love
cut you off.
Snowpiercer.
There's a whole new segment. Yeah.
That's perfect. You know where I stand on this. It's been pretty obvious, so I am redeeming it. I'm not as high as Ben on this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
But because natural disaster movies are my thing.
Apparently not. You're not as high as
But
Ben.
I am giving it a 79.
Okay. Just one. This is a theme. Oh, fuck. That's two big scores, though.
It was a
big,
fucking
this
good
is a big
time.
one. This
It
is
was
a big one.
time. Hard to fault.
I probably don't need to read out any of my notes in my final thoughts because you guys have just covered it off, and I think we covered it off all quite perfectly. I will say this. We've got moving moments, right? We got enough of them.
Check.
We got some wolves.
Confirmed.
I like my wolves.
Yep.
We've got possibly the most incredible visual effects in a natural disaster film.
Yep.
Which we'll discuss on the minisode.
Checks out.
We've got some Jake Gyllenhaal.
We got some Jake.
Yep.
Confirmed.
We've got just the right amount of Dennis Quaid. You don't want too much because he's a little boring.
I don't think he was in this, Ken.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wasn't he?
No.
Oh. And we've also got somewhat of a happy ending.
Yeah, under the circumstances.
Somewhat of a happy ending.
I would like that.
It all comes,
that
it
one daisy
concludes and it comes around.
Half the world's pretty happy.
So you've got all that stuff, and then
Mexico.
you've got everything we've just spoken about on the pod, right? You've got yourself one hell of an enjoyable blockbuster. And that is why all three of us sat here and went, I loved it and I had a great time. I fucking like Duff. I was enthralled. I didn't have 18 beers.
No.
I might have had a whiskey. I can't remember. Probably. It was a very, very enjoyable movie for me. Always has been. Probably my 8th or 9th time watching it, I reckon. I'll give this movie an 84.
Ooh.
And if you disagree with me, then I'm not going to warn you about the impending climate disaster and you can be left out in the cold to freeze to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cop that.
I will
That
come
was
for
it.
you.
So tune in next week for our mini-sode, which we're going to cover off, as I said before, our top 5 natural disaster films.
Yep.
Which should be a lot of fun. I'm excited about.
I'm going to do a
discuss
twist on it.
that.
I'm going to do a twist on it.
Where you're going to do Twister? Don't give them away straight away, man.
I hate Twister.
And then, fuck me, this is going to be a fun next step.
Is it natural disasters?
Yes.
Yeah, I've gone the wrong way.
You've
I've
done
got-
Aliens.
No, I haven't done it. I've done like World Enders.
That's fine.
I've done
That'll
Pulp,
work.
I've done Pulp Fiction.
So we're going to do that. We're also going to do the most scientifically accurate films versus the least scientifically accurate films. And I've got about 4 or 5 of each category.
Yeah.
And I found it really interesting to do a bit of reading up and research
Can
on
we do it like a
I
quiz?
hope you
Like
guys enjoy it as much
you
as
say, and we say which movies. No,
Yeah, cool. It's my
Yeah,
pod, so
it's your pod.
let's do it my way, yeah?
Yeah.
I like your feedback.
Yeah, cool. So that was another ep of The Redeemables. Thanks so much for listening. Really appreciate it.
God damn, what a brush!
Bye.
What is going on out there, Dad?
Sam, listen to me. Listen very carefully. Forget what I said about trying to head south. It's too late for that. The storm is just going to get worse. It's going to turn into a massive blizzard with an eye in the center of it, just like a huge hurricane. Only the air is going to be so cold you could freeze to death in seconds.
Sam! What should we do?
Listen to me, son. Do not go outside. Just burn whatever you can to stay warm and try to wait it out. I will come for you. Do you understand me? I will come for you.
Sam, come back!
Sam? Sam, did you hear me?